Hello everybody, it's Neve here. I'm one of the speech and language therapists for Surestart. Today I'm bringing you week 2 of Changing Time is Chatting Time. So last week we looked at early brain development and the importance of early and repeated experiences in order to help those connections take place in our baby's brains. So as we know, the early years are crucial for brain development. So this is why we're thinking about ways of providing lots of stimulation to our babies in order to help them to thrive. So it's nothing fancy, it's just we're thinking about 4 key ways of interacting with our babies, and we're trying to encourage a daily habit of using these interaction strategies each time we change our baby's nappies. So the first thing we're going to look at is the importance of smiling. So from birth, our babies are drawn to human faces. They are really motivated to seek out a face. And this means that one of the first things they are learning to focus in on is our smiles. So when we smile at our babies, we are giving them a lovely feeling of security and love and a feeling of safety. And this gives them a really good foundation to help with brain development. If they're feeling lovely and secure, their brain is going to be ready for learning. And babies learn everything through us in the early days. So we are teaching our babies about that early communication skill too. So when they start smiling back at us, it's a lovely feeling. It works both ways because it gives us that lovely feeling of security and love. Okay, so as we know, hearing is really well developed in the womb, and our babies can recognise their mother's voice even before they're born. One of the first things they do when they're born is distinguish between its parents' voices. So babies are born to listen, and they love the sound of our voice. So we would be encouraging you to talk to your babies just about anything. And they also want to have a go at talking too. So those wee early attempts like cooing and gurgling, that's their attempt at communicating with you. So when you talk, they love to listen. But then if you wait expectantly and see if they then have a wee turn, you're teaching them about early turn taking. And research tells us that it's this two-way interaction and being responsive to your baby that really makes those early brain connections. And we also know that babies' brains are physically different of those children who have really responsive parents. So that's why it's really important to tune in to any wee attempts that your baby is making at communication. And as we know, life is busy. Talking is a wee bit under pressure, but that's why it's really good to get into that habit of talking to your baby every time you're changing their nappy. It's just a natural way of interacting with them, but you're teaching them so much about the language around you. You can talk about anything. You can talk about what you can see, what you can hear, what you can feel. And this is going to give them so many lovely, valuable opportunities to learn language. Okay, so laughing with you feels so good. When I feel good, it makes learning easier. So nobody learns when they're under pressure. So it's that idea of having fun with our babies, and then they're feeling that lovely secure attachment with you when you are both having fun. And laughter is a lovely skill. We all need it, especially at the minute. If any of you have seen the still face experiment or want to have a watch, you can probably quite easily get it on YouTube. And it's just a lovely way of demonstrating that our babies are really, really tuned in to our emotions. But as we know, we can't be happy all of the time. We all have our off days. But what's important is making up as opposed to messing up. So if you do have an off day and you're just not feeling that responsive to your baby, that's fine. there's no such thing as a perfect parent, and we wouldn't want there to be any such thing, because we need to teach our children about resilience. So if you do have an off day, the important thing is the next day to try and get back to yourself and to have better, kind of more positive interactions with your babies. And through watching the still face experiment, we can see that babies are so tuned in to our emotions that when we are a bit off, they can become a wee bit distressed and they try and bring you back to yourself. But when you do come back to yourself, they're very forgiving and they very quickly forget that you have had an off day. Okay, so singing really captures all the things that we've talked about. So babies are really tuned in, they love to listen to your voice, that's their favourite sound. And by using that sing-songy voice, they are going to be tuned in and better able to listen. And through singing nursery rhymes, our babies learn so much language. The research tells us that through singing and stories, that children are more successful then in the later years in terms of their reading and writing abilities. Singing with our babies is also fun, and that's the most important thing. And when we're having fun, again, our babies are feeling that lovely sense of calm and they're relaxed and they're learning loads through having fun. So there's a few songs that you can have a wee listen to. I'm going to share the link for Change of Time is Chatting Time, and you can go on and have a wee look at the videos. And there's a daddy interacting with his baby and demonstrating these lovely songs. So I'll share that when we post this video. I just want to say thanks very much for listening, and if you have any questions at all, please get in touch with me.